Hello everyone, I am Dr. Harish Teneti, maxillofacial surgeon, and I am making this video on renal diseases and dentofacial considerations or aspects. Right, if suppose a renal failure patient or kidney patient comes to your dental setup for a normal dental surgery or a major surgery, what all things to consider? This may not be full information, but it will cover most of the aspects that you should keep in your mind, right? So first, going into the considerations, we should know what kidney does. Kidney does excretion and fluid electrolyte balance and erythropoietin production and acid base balance, and it causes vitamin D conversion, and then indirectly it affects the calcium absorption. So these are the basic functions of a kidney, right? So suppose a kidney patient comes, so what problems can he have? It is called renal failure basically, and in that there is acute renal failure and chronic renal failure. And in acute renal failure it is a reversible, and chronic renal failure is irreversible. That is, it is happening by sudden origin, and chronic renal failure is a progressive disease. And why it can happen? In acute renal failure can be because of an injury, or it can be because of a tumor. So basically for PGs or post-graduation entrance examinations, it is divided into pre-renal, renal and post-renal. So suppose if they have any heart conditions or long-standing hypertension, then it can be pre-renal, or it can, the problem acute renal failure can happen because of renal directly because of kidney problems, or it can happen because of post-renal conditions also like obstruction. Okay, any stones or any chronic obstruction can cause acute renal failure, whereas chronic renal failure is basically because of diabetic nephropathy or a long standing uncontrolled hypertension. Okay, so what treatment they might be undergoing as a renal failure patients? They can undergo dialysis or transplant. Basically, in dialysis we see peritoneal dialysis or hemodialysis, right? So suppose such patient comes to your clinic, what you should order is creatinine, or the lab test should be creatinine and blood urea nitrogen, right? Then that will give you a fair idea about the glomerular filtration rate. Now, BT-CT, platelet count, and prothrombin time and partial thromboplastin time for the bleeding situation, how the bleeding is controlled and all, we will know by this. Most important thing is BT. With BT, you can get a fair idea about how his or her kidneys are functioning, right? And what are the problems as you see in a renal failure patient is, I remember it like this: fee paid. If you delay your kidney problems, you have to pay the fees. What fees? Fluid electrolyte balance. Fluid balance is disturbed. Electrolyte imbalance is there. Excretion of nitrogenous waste is disturbed, which will lead to uremic conditions. And poietin, it is erythropoietin. Erythropoietin production is inhibited, that leads to anemia, and there can be acid base balance is disturbed, and that leads to peripheral neuropathy or tiredness, and in entire thing is inhibited. Okay, so vitamin D is also not converted properly. Because vitamin D is not converted, calcium absorption is decreased. Because calcium absorption is decreased, there can be osteodystrophy, hyperparathyroidism, and hyperpigmentation, right? So basically a patient comes to a dental setup saying some pain or infection, right? So we generally give analgesics and antibiotics. So basically drugs absorption and redistribution is affected in renal failure patients. So what drugs you can give, what drugs you should avoid is what we will learn here. Basically, you should avoid manam. Manam is morphine, aspirin, NSAIDs, acetaminophen, and meperidine. All these things to be avoided. Avoided in the sense, one tablet or two doses will not cause any problem. Generally, if you say a renal failure patient should not take all this, it doesn't mean that one tablet or one and a half tablet or one two doses will affect anything. But in generally, to better you avoid these tablets, analgesics, and go for Ultracet or Tramadol medication. And in antibiotics, CEAT, CEAT is a good code. Cephalosporins to be avoided, erythromycin to be avoided, aminoglycosides to be avoided, and tetracycline to be avoided in renal failure patients. Otherwise, you can generally give all other medications. These medications are also given, but very minimal dose. If you are intend or bound to give this, you should give it in a very minimal dose, or you have to distribute the dosage, right? And LA is very safe. You can administer local anesthesia thoroughly. There is no problem in LA because it is all metabolized in liver and plasma. And GA, you should remember, hide are safe. Halothane, isoflurane, desflurane, and enflurane are safe in renal failure patients, right? So in your clinic, basically you should remember this. In clinic, monitor BP, always maintain blood pressure, check blood pressure, and orofacial infections you should treat thoroughly and aggressively. Okay, do not leave any infection. Drain, if at all there is any abscess or swelling or anything, drain thoroughly. Okay, and at least 4 hours post hemodialysis you should avoid surgery. At least 4 hours. If suppose you have to do an emergency procedure also, delay it at least for 4 hours. Okay, suppose in case you have to go ahead and do the procedure, then one day after the dialysis is preferable. Okay, or if you have to do it before, one day before the dialysis also is preferable, right? In case you have to do it in an emergency basis, remember D-arginine vasopressin is given as 0.3 microgram per kg 30 minutes before surgery. Very, very useful in controlling bleeding diastasis. And hyperkalemia should be treated aggressively. Hope this gives you an insight about renal failure or renal diseases and their dentofacial aspects.